Okay, welcome back to day 3 of the 5-day Trust Your Body Hunger Fullness Challenge. For the past 2 days, we've really tried to get in touch with your hunger cues, your physical hunger cues. I introduced you to the hunger fullness scale, and then we really went over why it's important to eat when you're hungry and not get over hungry. And focusing on your hunger is just one component, or gear as I like to call it, in the equation to improving your overall relationship with food. Today we're going to flip to the other side. I'm getting way too excited. Today we're going to flip to the other side of the hunger fullness scale and focus on fullness. This is one of the most asked about topics. How can I stop eating when I'm full so that I don't get over full and stuffed? And my friends, it comes down to trusting your body. That is why we are here. So if your body trusts that it will be adequately nourished and fed, it won't have to have the need to constantly overeat. When your body doesn't trust that it will be consistently nourished and fed, you are more likely to overeat and feel like you have to eat until you're uncomfortably full. So let's dive into the internal and external factors that help you notice your fullness. Remember, we said there are internal and external cues. Today, we're going to call them internal and external factors that help you really pay attention to your fullness. An internal factor would be something that's in your body. So for example, it would be your belly feeling full. That's in your workbook, it's a blank. An external factor would be an outside cue. So it'd be like clearing everything on your plate, and then you know that you're full. We really want to get in touch with our internal factors or cues for fullness more than our external factors. But if you're like many of my students in the nutrition training program, you grew up being told that you can't get up from the table until you clear your plate. So you're constantly being told that you have to follow these external cues. That is what we're going to disrupt so that you can build that trust with your body and focus on your internal cues. But we really need to get in touch with both internal and external. I can't speak today. What is going on day 3? I'm just so much information to share. We really need to get in touch with both our internal and external factors to stop eating when we're comfortably full, or about that 6 or 7 on the hunger fullness scale. So first, let's talk about internal cues. In order to tune into your fullness level where you're comfortable, it does take a conscious effort. It's not something that I could just snap my fingers and say, all right, you're free, you're good to go. So today and for the rest of the week, when you're eating, I really want you to tune into your fullness throughout the meal. So serve yourself as you normally would, and then I want you to pause when you finish about a quarter of the food on your plate. Check in with yourself. How are you feeling? Have you noticed your fullness creeping up towards that? Maybe if you started at a 3, maybe you're at a 4 or 5. And then when you finish half of your plate, check in again. Where are you on that hunger fullness scale? Again at 3/4, and again when you finish what's on your plate. If you finish what is on your plate, I want you to notice how that little, put like an imaginary slider along that hunger fullness scale. How does it slide from where you started when you were hungry until when you were full? And did you stop when you're comfortably full? It's hard to stop eating if you believe that you can never eat a particular food again, or if like you don't know when the next time is that you will be eating again. So it's also really important that you give yourself permission to eat. If you have really strict rules about when you can eat, that's a sign that you're not trusting your body, and it makes it really easy to eat past your comfortable fullness because you don't know when you can eat again. If you always give yourself permission to eat when you're hungry, it's easier to stop when you're full. They really go hand in hand, so it's really important that we pay attention to both. We honor our hunger, eat when we're hungry, give ourselves that permission, and then it makes it easier to stop eating when we're full instead of always getting over full and feeling stuffed and bloated and blah. This is also especially true for those foods that we keep as off limits. I want to tell you about a little study. There was a study of chocolate lovers. I have some notes, so I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. Who were told they were going to have a chocolate restriction imposed for 3 weeks. No chocolate for 3 weeks. Researchers found that these study participants increased their chocolate consumption before and after the study because they knew they were going to be deprived. So they knew that chocolate was going to be taken off the table, that they couldn't have it. They were going to be restricted. So they actually ate more before and after because they knew that they couldn't have it. That's the you want what you can't have phenomenon. So then you eat more of it. The same thing happens with any food, even like a really good chicken salad, let's say. If you're telling your body that, oh, you can't eat again until 7 p.m. when it's dinner time, there's no snacking in between lunch and dinner, that strict rule is going to backfire on you, okay? So just want to make sure that's clear. Now let's flip to the second part, which is those external fullness cues. And we talk a lot about this in the nutrition training program, but to keep it simple, you may have to work on disrupting automatic behaviors. So if you grew up always cleaning your plate, now it's just habit for you to clean your plate at your meals without even pausing to ask yourself if you're feeling full. So I want you to try to leave 1 or 2 bites of food on your plate. It's not going to make or break your fullness or hunger. And I want you to see how you feel. Is that hard for you? If it's really hard for you, you might just be automatically in the habit of clearing your plate. You can also try eating with your non-dominant hand. It's a lot easier to eat faster with your dominant hand. I'm a righty, so there we go. But if you eat with your non-dominant hand, you eat slower, and then you can actually get more in touch with those check-ins and check in on your fullness. This also means eating without distraction, which I'm going to cover tonight in a special training in our Facebook Live. So I really hope that you will tune in tonight. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, I have a special training for you live that we're going to talk about eating with distractions and how you can start to peel yourself away from your phone, scrolling on Instagram and the like, to help yourself really get better in touch with your cues and trust your body. All right, so let's recap. We've now covered 2 components to trusting your body and improving your relationship with food: honoring your hunger and respecting your fullness. It's really hard to master these in 3 days, so be patient with yourself, please. If you have questions, reach out. That is what I am here for. We're now at hump day. It is day 3, so it's time to really check in with yourself and see how you're doing. Do you have questions? Shoot me an email. And even when you do master these topics, honoring your hunger and respecting your fullness are just 2 of the many components that contribute to an improved relationship with food and your body. So just a reminder, check in with your fullness. There's a template in your workbook throughout your meal. Pause throughout your meal to check in and minimize your distractions when eating today. And let's chat about how that goes tonight at our Facebook Live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So I will see you then, and bye-bye.